Okay, Shalom Abracha. Today is the last year that Blida, the Beis Hashem, I'm giving over here in Toronto. For the past, since Chodesh Kislev, we're learning every Sunday night from the sefer. The Rebbe's Beyurim on the last two Prakim of the Rambam. So it's Malach, Malchamis, or different Gersois, it says Malchamis Seihem. Different Gersois, the Rebbe brings from Tfus Venetia. It says, Fürs Venetia, use Reish Pedal, then Chinyun, it says Hilchas Malach, Malchamis, and Malach HaMashiach.
One week, Shai Mikra that printed from inside in Psalm 70, so it has Rambam also. It says Hilchas
Malach HaMashiach. Okay, so we're going to just say a shamish b'kitzur of what we learned until now, make a fast summary from the first 30-something pages, 36 pages, and then say a kitzur for the next 600 pages, if it's possible, in the next half an hour. The first simon the Rebbe talks about, the first simon over here, the Rebbe talks about why the Rambam put the halachas of Mashiach in the end of the whole Rambam. The Rambam says the Seder of the mitzvahs is Mini Melech, to get rid of Amalek, then to build the Beis HaMikdash. So what comes first? Mini Melech, have a king, comes before the halachas of Beis HaMikdash. Why does the Rambam put the halachas of kings not before the halachas of the Beis HaMikdash, rather in the end of the whole Rambam? So not according to the order of the order of the way you're makayim the mitzvah. And the Rambam is medaik in the Seder. So the Rebbe basically explains that when the Rambam puts something in the end means the completion. This is the shleimus of the Indian, just like a sefer Torah. The end of the sefer Torah makes the whole entire sefer Torah kosher the sefer Torah. Without the end, without the last word, the whole thing is not complete. The Rambam puts Hilchas Mashiach in the end of the whole Rambam to tell you when will the whole entire Yad HaChazaka, when will the Rambam has the whole entire Torah. When will the whole entire Torah come to its completion? This is through Mashiach. And the Rambam says, what's Mashiach? Mashiach is going to come and he's going to build the Beis HaMikdash and take everyone to Eretz Yisrael. And because he's going to build the Beis HaMikdash and take everyone to Eretz Yisrael, therefore you're going to be able to bring korbanis to the Beis HaMikdash. You're able to do all the mitzvahs that are dependent on the Beis HaMikdash. And because all the Yidden are going to be in Eretz Yisrael, you're going to be able to do all the mitzvahs that are totally ba'aretz, like Shemitah v'Yovel. It says only when you have Kol Yishmael, when all the Yidden are in Eretz Yisrael, only then you can fulfill Yovel. Majority of the Jewish people, 55% right. Rubai shall call Shay. That's but the term of the Pasuk says Kol Yisrael now, and that's what Malach HaMashiach is going to do. He's going to take away the thing. He's going to take away what's not letting us do all 613 mitzvahs, and he's going to make it possible to fulfill all 613 mitzvahs. That's why when the Rambam writes, "What's the signs of Mashiach?" He doesn't even say that he's going to be a Navi. Why doesn't he say Mashiach is going to be a Navi? In Hilchas Tshuva, the Rambam says he's going to be a Navi. He's going to be a bigger Navi, greater than all the Nevi'im, and he's going to be close to Moshe Rabbeinu. Why here, in the halachas of Mashiach, doesn't the Rambam mention Mashiach is going to be a Navi? Because here the Rambam is coming to say, what's Mashiach's goal? This time Mashiach is going to be a Navi, it's true. Mashiach is going to have many things. But the Rambam is saying, what's Mashiach according to halacha? Mashiach according to halacha is the person that's bringing the completion of all 613 mitzvahs. This that is going to be a Navi is true, but that's nothing to do with Mashiach's Geder Hilchasi, his halachic status. According to this, the Rebbe explains why the Rambam says that David was the first Mashiach. The Rambam says that in Bilam said a prophecy about two Mashiachs. The first Mashiach is David, and last Mashiach that's going to get up from David's kids. Why is he saying David is the first Mashiach? Why isn't Moshe Rabbeinu the first Mashiach? Moshe took it out of Mitzrayim. He's more compared to Mashiach. Why David? So if you're going to say the Mashiach means that he's smeared with oil, and Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't smeared with oil, so he could have called Shaul also Mashiach. Shaul is also smeared. He's called Mashiach Hashem in Tanakh. Why isn't the Rambam say Shaul is the first Mashiach? So according to what we just explained, that what is Mashiach? Mashiach is not only someone smeared with oil or someone that takes the Yidden out of their tzoris. If Mashiach means only being smeared with oil, so Shaul is also Mashiach. If Mashiach means someone that saves the Yidden from their tzoris, so Moshe Rabbeinu is the first Mashiach. But what is Mashiach? The Geder of Mashiach is someone that brings the completion of fulfilling Torah and mitzvahs, making it possible to do all 630 mitzvahs. The first person that did that wasn't Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu davened to go to Eretz Yisrael in order to do all the Torah and mitzvahs, but he did not. He didn't succeed. Who is the first person that brought the completion of Torah and mitzvahs? That was David HaMelech. And according to this, the Rebbe explains why Mashiach does not need to make miracles. You cannot demand Mashiach to make a miracle to prove that he's Mashiach. First of all, it has nothing to do with Mashiach. Second of all, it's the opposite of what Mashiach is all about. Mashiach is all about Torah and mitzvahs. Torah and mitzvahs is something that has no change. How can you prove that he is Mashiach by doing just the opposite of Mashiach? Mashiach means no change. Torah and mitzvahs, which has no change. And you want to prove that through making a miracle, through making changes? Okay, that's in short the first simon. The next simon that Rebbe talks about, that's not only in short, that's like 1%. Okay, the next thing that Rebbe talks about, and this is, you wanted to learn about the Beis HaMikdash, so this is about the Beis HaMikdash. Who's going to build the third Beis HaMikdash? So the Rambam says, who's building the third Beis HaMikdash? HaMelech HaMashiach Bein HaMikdash. He says Mashiach is going to build the third Beis HaMikdash. But the Rashi and Tosfos and Maseches Sukkah, they say, and it says in Zohar also, that the third Beis HaMikdash is coming down from Shamayim. It's going to come built from heaven. So who's building the third Beis HaMikdash? So the Rebbe gives 4 explanations. One explanation, the Rebbe brings what it says in Eicha, Tovu ba'aretz she'areh, that the doors of the Beis HaMikdash were sunk in the ground. And Mashiach, when he's going to come, he's going to take it out from underground, and he's going to put on the doors to the Beis HaMikdash. The Beis HaMikdash is going to come down from Shamayim. Mashiach is going to put on the doors. What does that help? There's halacha that if someone comes to a gair's, possessions, a gair has no, that dies. He has a lot of houses and a lot of property, and no one's there to take it over. Or someone sees in Hefker, there's Hefker, there's tons of houses and stuff Hefker. So one guy comes and he paints and he changes and he does stuff and he builds. It doesn't belong to this person. In order, when someone buys something, Al Pi Halach, he has to make a kinyan. He needs to make a change in the house. So the first guy that he could paint and make a lot of differences, it doesn't belong to him, the house. A guy who puts up the doors, the words of the halacha is Ki'ilu b'noi kuloi. It's as if he built the whole entire house, and it belongs to him. It belongs to the person that put up the doors. The Rebbe so too regarding the Beis HaMikdash. It's going to come down built from Shamayim. But Mashiach is going to put up the doors, and it has the same halacha geder, Ki'ilu b'noi kuloi. It's as if he built the whole entire Beis HaMikdash. Another answer that Rebbe gives, it says that in the Gemara asks in Sanhedrin, it says in one pasuk, Mashiach is going to come on a cloud. Another place, it says Mashiach is going to come like a poor man riding on a donkey. So how is he going to come? So the Gemara answers, it depends where the Yidden are home. If the Yidden deserve Mashiach to come, so he'll come on a cloud, he'll come in a miraculous way. And if the Yidden don't deserve Mashiach, so then he's going to come. If God promised that he's going to take us out of Galus, he's going to bring Mashiach by force, so Mashiach is going to come like a poor man riding on a donkey. It says the Rebbe, so too, regarding many, many things of Mashiach and Geula, it goes in the same category. Where do you see things that it says about the Geula in a miraculous way? It's dependent if they didn't deserve it. Then it's going to be in a miraculous way. So this is the way saying this is going to come down built from Shamayim, is if they didn't deserve the Geula. This that the Rambam says that Mashiach is going to build the Beis HaMikdash, it's if they don't deserve the Geula. And the Eibishter has to bring the Geula, so that, and part of the Geula is that there's going to be a Beis HaMikdash, obviously, because that makes the Geula. So Mashiach is going to build it. But if they didn't deserve it, then it's going to be in a miraculous way, because we're already summarizing many things in the sefer. This thing, the Rebbe explains many things. The Rambam says that in the Mesa Mashiach, Olam is going to change in the world. The way the world is running, is going to be the same exact. So the Rebbe asks, there's many, our sages say many things, that there's going to be miracles. It says that when Mashiach comes, all the trees that do not give out fruits will be giving out fruits. This is a miracle. The Rambam says whatever you're saying is whatever it says. What it says the wolf is going to lie with the lamb. He says it's a parable. It's a mashal. What does it mean? That the wolf is referring to the goyim, the wild goyim, and the lamb is referring to the yidden, and they're going to get along. So maybe say also this, that the trees that don't give out fruits are going to give out fruits. Maybe it's also a mashal. The Rebbe says you cannot say that. Why? What could you say that it's only a mashal, it's only a parable? Maybe you can say DVAR Navim. You can say that the Navim, the prophets, they smoke in such a way. They smoke in a mashal-dik way. But Tanoim and Amiroim, when they smoke, they meant literally. You can't. There's a certain way you can learn certain things. Navim and Ksuvim, you can learn that it's a mashal, but not Divrei Chazal. So what does it mean? that trees that don't give out fruits are going to be giving out fruits. It can't be a marshal. So the Rebbe gives, that's one of the Rebbe's answers, that the Rambam is a book of halachas. This is a general answer the Rebbe says regarding many things. The Rambam is a sefer of halachas. A book of halachas means something that for sure has to be. If someone's, if something happens, the Rambam, it has to do, halachas means what's mukharach to be no matter what. A guy wakes up in the Mashiach is also halacha. Mashiach has to come. There's also a minimum level of Mashiach. What has to be. Without that, it's not Mashiach. And the Rambam does not mention things that are dependent in our actions. If we're going to be zochel, we're going to be worthy. So then Mashiach is going to come in a miraculous way. The Rambam can't write that in a book of halachas. If we deserve it, then something miraculous is going to happen. It doesn't belong in a book of halachas. Book of a dry halacha, you have to say the minimum. Therefore, he says the world is going to be running regular. There won't be no changes in the world. But if the Yidden are zohu, it doesn't need to be the way the Rambam writes. The Rebbe said this many, many, many times. For example, the Rambam says there's going to be wars. Mashiach is going to fight the wars of Hashem and he's going to win the wars. So the Rebbe says this that the Rambam is saying Mashiach is going to need to fight wars and win wars is only if the Yidden are not zohu. If you don't deserve Mashiach, so then, and that's the way that Rambam is writing. But if we deserve it, we deserve the Geula, there will not need to be any wars. Mashiach won't need to fight any physical battles, any physical wars. So too, another interesting thing that I've mentioned many times. So the Rambam says one of the things Mashiach is going to do is going to fight wars of Hashem. The Yilcham Milchamas Hashem. So we don't need to fight the war, and Mashiach doesn't need to fight the war. If Yidden are zochu, there's no necessity for wars. According to dry halacha, Mashiach is going to run a war. He's going to run a war. Not necessarily he's going to be running around with a rifle shooting people, but he's going to need to run a physical war. If we're zochu, you don't need that.
Look at the war in Syria.